We know all data types we have in JavaScript, but what is the most important in programming? It's manipulating this data. So if we have some variables, we need to change these variables somehow, combine, manipulate these variables. To do it, we have our favorite operation from math. We know many operators from the school. They are things like editing, multiplication, subtraction, and so on. For example, you remember this one, or multiple. Let's show some sample with numbers. 2 plus 3. It's editing numbers. We have result 5. And this one. So let's discuss some terms and continue. The first term is operand. Operand is what operators are applied to. In our case, we have two operands. It's first one and second one. First one is 2, second one is 3. Sometimes people call these arguments instead of operands. The next one, what we need to discuss, it's terms binary and unary operators. An operator is unary if it has a single operand. For example, the unary operator minus, this one. Let's show how it works. So we have x, it's 1, and minus x, we have minus 1. X assigned minus x. So it's unary operator minus. And now let's start working with the operators. The first one, we will talk about strings. Operator string concatenation is binary plus operator adding. Let's imagine that we have string, and as it will be concatenation of these two strings, my name. We have result my name. The next one, interesting case, for example, we can 1 plus 2. And the result, what do we have? We have 12. Because of if we have at least one string in operation, both parts will be converted to strings. The same case. So remember, if one of the operands is a string, the other one is converted to a string too. It's a rule. But let's see this case. What do we have? We have 42 instead of this. Why? Because of the first part, because of we have plus, it's binary operator. It checks two operands, left and right. There was execution of this part, 2 plus 2. We have 4, and then 4 plus string 2, we have result 42 string. It how works this feature. The next one, it's for example, if we have minus 2 minus. In this case, conversion will be to numbers because we can't minus string minus another one. It doesn't work this way because of minus. It's operator for numbers, and we expect numbers. So we convert it to number and it works fine. The next case, for example, division. The same. We expect numbers and all operands were converted to numbers. Okay, let's talk more a bit numeric conversion and unary plus. We didn't use this operator, so let's see how it works. Let's imagine that we have plus x. What we will have? The same x. It wasn't changed, it's the same minus 1. But, for example, let's imagine that we have true and plus that, we will have 1 because of was conversion true. It was converted to number. We can use the same true or false. We convert to number. And the same it worked with strings. It was converted to string In this case it doesn't work, but for this one it works. So plus some string of number is the same as number. So we have the same result. So we can use wrapper number, or we can just use plus. Usually I very often use this approach when we need to convert string to number. You can put just plus and it works great. The next sample with the plus operator based on this approach. So let's imagine we have this case. So what we will have if we will call apple plus banana. We have concatenation of two strings, real expected result. But if we will call apple plus banana, we will have 5, because of unary operator will convert your string to number, and then two numbers editing, we have number 5. The next what I want to mention is operator precedence or importance, the order of execution of this operator. Let's open one page and take a look on table. The following table is ordered from highest to lowest precedence. So the highest is grouping. It's the same as we had in math. Grouping is highest priority, and then we have the next priority. It's increment, decrement. We'll talk about them in a couple of seconds. Then logical operators, and what's the most interesting, we have exponential operator, and we have multiplication, division, remainder, addition, subtraction, and bitwise operators, and then all others. We'll talk about them later. So we need to remember that it's the same approach as we have in math. Multiplication and division has highest priority, addition and subtraction has lower priority. Very simple. So in case we have the same 2 multiply 2 plus 3, we have 7. Pretty simple. Okay, let's go to talk about assignment operator. We already know it and we use it very often. It's operator, so assign operator, this we can use it so we need to note that assignment operator is also operator. It's listed in the precedence table with a very low priority. There was 3. So it means that the first will be executed multiplying, adding, and then it will be assigned to this variable. The next simple case we can show you, it's for example, let A assign B, assign C, assign D, and assign 3, for example. And you have A is 3, B is 3, C is 3, D is the same. Why? Because it starts from the highest priority, and the priority is the same. It means that it starts from the right to left. And the first one was D assigned 3, then C assigned D, it was 3, and to the A. And A have the same value of 3. So let's talk about the next operator. It's remainder. The remainder operator, despite its appearance, is not related to percents. So let's take a look on result. The result of A remainder B is a remainder of the integer division of A by B. So how it looks. Let's take a look on 5 remainder 2. We have 1. 1 is a remainder of 5 divided by 2. The same case, A divided by 3. we have 2. In this case we have 0. The next one operator is exponential. It's 2 asterisks. The exponential operator is a recent addition to the language. If we have b variable exponential to a, for example, it will be the result of multiplying b by itself a time. How it looks? 2 exponential 2. We have 4 because of it means that 2 multiplied 2 times. Another case, 2 exponential 4, 16, it means that we need 2 multiplied 2 multiplied 2 multiplied 2 4 times. 16 result. From math we know square root. How to get square root? For example, we need 4 multiply 1 divided 2, it's 0.5 in, and we will get 2. So let's go to increment and decrement operators. Increasing or decreasing a number by 1 is among the most common numeric operations. So there are special operators for it. It's increment, 2 pluses, and decrement, 2 minuses. So let's imagine that we have that counter 2 and we need to increase it. Plus plus. What we will have in the result? Counter, we have 3. So it was counter returns value. When we increased, it returned old value, but counter was increased. And for example, counter again plus plus. Result is 4. Counter is updated. The same if we counter decrease, decrement, we have 3. Also, what I want to mention is that this operator can have 2 forms. It's prefix and suffix or postfix form. This case, when we have plus plus in the end, is postfix operator. It means that it returned the previous value, as we see, and then it incremented the current value. And another case is prefix operator. When we counter, it means that it increased counter by 1 and then returned updated value. Counter the same. Again 5, counter 5. So 2 cases. And it's very important because in some operations we need first of all increase value, then return this value. Let me show you one sample why it's important. For example, we have the same 1 and we want to create let b, it will be I plus plus. You expect that it will be incremented, and when you alert b, you will have 1. Why? Because of it was returned assigned to b and then it was incremented. The next what I want to mention is bitwise operators. They are not very popular and often used in JavaScript, but anyways, those bitwise operators in JavaScript is the same bitwise operators in all other languages, but in JavaScript they are not used very often. For example, and, for example, or. Let me show you a sample. What do we have? We have a list of these operators, but from my experience, for example, for 8 years of development, I never used these operators. And the last one, what I want to mention, is comma operator. Comma has one of the lowest priority, and for example, how it looks is just comma. Here the first expression 1 plus 2 is evaluated and its result is thrown away. Then 3 plus 4 is evaluated and returned as a result. So the comma operator allows us to evaluate several expressions, dividing them by comma. Each of them is evaluated, but only the result of the last one is returned. In this case, both expressions were evaluated, but the first one was thrown away, the second one was returned. Isn't very obvious behavior, that's why this operator isn't very popular and using not so often. The most popular case where it can be used is variable creation, assigning, for example. And in cycle 4. And about this cycle we will talk in next videos. That was everything what I wanted to mention about operators in this video. In the next video we will talk about more about them and we will use it on practice.